What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/IDontWorkHereLady. This story is called I Don't Work Here, Goose! Years ago, when I was working opening shift at a restaurant, most days going home as soon as everyone else was in. But I stayed a little later on weekends so I could work brunch. Other than opening, most of my job was making breakfast specials and brunch specials. My walk to work passed right by a local farmer's market, so I could stop and pick up whatever was nice and put it on the restaurant tab. Sometimes I would order a bunch more stuff than I could carry, and they would deliver after noon when they were on their way home. So anyway, I had stopped at the market before work and got some nice farm-fresh eggs, some fancy hand-rolled croissants, and big fat leeks. As I was walking down by the bay, a goose ran at me. I don't know where he was coming from, but I pulled my sacks out of his way and spun myself out of his path. The goose honked and dodged around me, then ran in the door of the restaurant that was open for early customers to be able to see they were open and had coffee. "Stop, goose! You can't just do whatever you want!" The goose, a big fat male goose, just ran right into the cafe and went to grab some baguettes they had leaning out towards the customers for easy grabbing, unfortunately also in range of the goose. The goose honked at me and then lunged for the baguettes. The goose grabbed a baguette just as I walked in the door and tried to wrangle the goose. "Hey there, goose, you can't take that bread! Drop that right now!" The goose bolted past me, dodging under my bag as it bolted back across the street towards the bay, where I assume it must have come from. Bewildered employee walks up to me. I shrug as the employee sees the goose running off down towards the beach, making good his escape. He was already making a defeated face when our shared moment was interrupted. A woman walks up to me, angry look on her face.
"Why didn't you stop him? I needed to buy one of those."
Admittedly, the baguettes the goose had not nabbed had been strewn across the ground, but I was a little disbelieving that she thought I should have been the one to stop the goose. "I'm sorry, lady, the goose was too fast. He was on a mission, it seems."
"Well, what are you gonna do about it? You should give me a discount."
"Whoa, I'm sorry that I'm not some sort of expert goose wrangler, but I can't give you a discount. I don't even work here, lady." "I don't think I can give you a discount. This was an act of goose. Sorry, but is there anything else I can help you with?" Angry lady, completely ignoring the employees and getting angry with me.
"Don't try to lie to me to get out of trouble. I saw you talking to the goose."
Now, very, very confused, I say. You saw me what? What are you talking about? Sorry, I don't have time for this. I have to go to work." I turned and walked quickly down the street. I could hear the lady shouting at me and the employee unsuccessfully trying to calm her. But as I turned the corner and popped in the door of my own restaurant, I was safe at last. I don't know if the lady ever got a baguette or a discount. I didn't see her again, so I have no way of knowing. Okay, so the entire time I was reading this story, I was just thinking of one thing, and that is Untitled Goose Game. I have not played it yet, but I will play it now, because the thoughts of playing as a goose and causing absolute mayhem hadn't sounded crazy appealing to me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still thought it was cool, but now, that's just funny. Someone was playing Untitled Goose Game and got control of a real goose or something. That's funny. Crazy goose. This story's called Elder Lady is Really Nice About Needing Help. Happy encounter. So I recently bought a membership to a bulk store club. Pick whichever one you want. It was like $20 for a year on Groupon. Great deal. So I'm browsing around, totally lost, pushing an oversized cart that doesn't have much in it. It's just my boyfriend and I at the house. I make impulsive online purchases, that I will admit to. Now, I cross paths with a 60 or 70-year-old lady while scouting the veggies. Pretty short woman, very grandmotherly. We make eye contact, so I bid her good morning with a smile. She gets really excited by that. Now, this isn't word for word because my memory isn't the best even for my age, but it all went something like this.
"Good morning. Do you know if you have avocados here? I can't find them."
I think they're technically a fruit, so they're probably over there by those grapes and apples. You should try looking over there. I look over to the fruit area, some maybe 15 feet away, and then back to the woman. She thinks for a minute and told me she thought they were a vegetable. I let her know with a laugh that since they have a seed, it makes them a fruit, just like tomatoes. I let her know it's weird, even for me. but she starts searching the immediate area with a concerned look. I abandon my search, for I forget what veg I was hoping to find and walk over to the fruits and find her the avocados. There's only one kind, so I just grab a bag and bring it back to the woman. I was in a pretty good mood, so I was feeling helpful. Here you go. These are the only kinds they have, and it's whatever price. They were next to the strawberries over there. I hand her the bag, and she looks at them so happy.
Thank you so much. I was afraid I'd have to go to another store to make lunch. These are great. I'm making avocado toast for me and my husband. It's so good. You should really try it.
We get deep into a conversation about different ways to make it and exchange our techniques. It's a trend I can get behind, even though it's pricey.
Do you know where I can find breads? I'm running a little low, so I'll just get some while I'm here.
Yeah, I saw them right over behind those shelves on the other side. You should pick up a loaf of sourdough bread. It's amazing with avocados. And I pointed her in the right direction. We chat a bit more, and I tell her to grab her husband and stop by a certain store affiliated with the free next-day shipping major shopping website, because their restaurant makes a bomb avocado toast with cream cheese and smoked salmon. Even gave her some wine suggestions to go with it. We parted ways, and I go check out their hair stuff. I stopped to look at some products when I noticed the lady followed me. She seemed surprised.
There's the bread. This is shampoo.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, this is my first time here, so I'm seeing what this place has to offer. I saw the bread is in the next aisle over, though.
Well, then you're just like me. I've never been here before either. Sorry about that. Well, have a good day.
She makes her way back down with a big smile, and I kinda giggle because I don't really think she thought I worked there. Maybe she thought I was gonna take her to where she needed to be or something. She was really sweet though, but I gag at the thought of rye bread with anything. I hate it. Not even sorry. The encounter didn't make my day or anything. The bulk chocolate rolls did. It was still a pleasant encounter though. Hope you enjoyed my happy story. Well, that was very wholesome, and good on you for taking the time out of your day to talk to an elderly woman. Usually they appreciate the attention. Okay, I've personally never had avocado toast. I have, however, had it on a burger from Whataburger. It's pretty good. I mean, it wasn't the best thing ever, but it was pretty good. I don't know what to say about this other than, what's your favorite sandwich bread? I'm curious. I really like, whole grain-y bread with, like, the seeds and stuff mixed in, and it's, like, more artisan-y, but not quite, you know, $15 a loaf or something. It's still like, you know, the cheaper stuff, but it's, I don't know, and they're usually smaller loaves, and the bread is like really spongy-ish, and it's got a texture to it, and in the little seeds in it, oh my god, it's so good. It's funny, I just recently discovered butter with toast. I just recently discovered butter, really. I never actually ate butter on its own or as like the star condiment on bread, and honestly, I feel so stupid because it's amazing. Butter on toast? Butter is good. This story's called The Church Doesn't Hire Elves. This happened last year, but as my friend got asked about it yesterday, I figured I would share. My one friend is very religious and is part of all things church as far as I know. So when they have plays or concerts, think they just call them performances. She was always part of them, which means as her ever loyal friend, she requires me to attend at least one performance of each she does that year. Last Christmas season, I ended up going to like 15 of the 30 plus performances. They would do 2 a night. Well, the time in question was when I had ended up attending the performance after several hours of me playing an elf at an event that another friend asked me to help her with. So here I was, dressed like an elf, going to support my friend's church performance. I was tired. In the line in front of me was this couple and their 3 kids. And the kids were going pretty much insane. They were yelling, screaming, and running around. One even tried to climb on a nearby chair. The parents would switch which one would chase the running kids around as they were trying very hard to get their children under their control. I groaned. Forgetting I was still dressed as an elf, I loudly said, "Santa's not going to be happy when he hears how you guys are misbehaving." The kids stopped and stared at me. I was even taken aback at how sudden their response was. I seriously didn't think they would have even heard me. The kids all came back to their parents, or rather they all ran up to me.
"Wow, an elf! You're not Santa! I'm good, I promise!"
were what the kids were shouting, and a few other things. 3 kids at once. Yeah, I am not going to be able to remember everything they say since they like to talk over each other. Took me a few moments to realize I am still dressed as an elf. The parents look at me like I was their savior. I sighed. Well, happy kids are quieter than wild bored ones, so I smiled at the kids. Yeah, I am Jingle, and yeah, I know Santa for sure.
Are you really an elf? You have normal ears,
said one of the kids. Oh, I was born with rounded ears. All elves with rounded ears get a special job. I shouldn't tell you this, but there are elves around all year round. We are elves undercover and use how we look like normal people to spy on the kids and report to Santa. Since, he is super busy this time of year, meeting everyone and making sure all the presents are done. We keep an eye on things for him, I said, hoping this kid would buy this story.
Oh, wow,
the kids chimed. They bought it. And during the next 20 minutes or so, they asked me questions about Santa and stuff. I spent the time pretty much telling them about all the different things I've seen in movies about Santa. They were calmer. We got our tickets and watched the performance. After the show, I sat in the lobby to wait for the next show, and the original group of kids ended up coming to me with more kids. So, between the performances, I entertained the kids with stories about Santa. They were so calm, so I was cool just telling the stories to kids. Again, I got tickets and watched the show. After the performance, I met up with my friend and we were just chatting, when this elderly woman came up to me and touched my arm.
You did a good job too. I am pleased to see the church hired an entertainer to keep the kids from wreaking havoc before and after shows,
said the elderly woman. The pastor was nearby at one of the tables. Excuse me, what did you say? Said the pastor as he now put down his paper and came over.
And I am happy you hired an elf to amuse the children and keep them calm,
said the elderly woman. I didn't, started the pastor. Expect that a volunteer would be dressed as an elf. Sorry, I don't work here, I just volunteer sometimes, I said to the woman, who smiled. She donated some money and left. You don't, started the pastor.
We know you don't like elves, and we know she doesn't work here. I will see you tomorrow. Laters,
said my friend and started to drag me off. The pastor and I do not get along, and my friend called me today asking me to show up again as an elf this year since the pastor is already getting upset that people are calling him to make up reservations to have the elf watch their kids between performances. This story's called The Staff Gave No Help. This evening, on my way home from work, I unfortunately had to get the train, which in the UK is a very unpleasant experience. So I was waiting at the far end of the train platform for my train whilst on my phone to my wife and drinking a coffee. A man walked up to me on the platform and asked if I was a guard. As a note, I'm quite a big guy, but I wasn't dressed as a guard. I was wearing a Christmas jumper with a large, fluffy Santa on it and jeans with trainers. I said no, and then he politely walked away. He seemed like a nice old man. I hope he had a nice weekend. But the next people can step off. So I assumed this lady overheard the man ask if I was a guard and assumed I was. She came over to me and started complaining about her train ride and how it was so busy and they couldn't sit her in the reserved seats. Yeah, the trains really are crap, I replied, assuming she was just in a bad mood. I was still on the phone with my wife at this point. The train lady kept talking. I'm not sure what she said, but I just replied, I'm really sorry, but I'm just in the middle of a call. The lady proceeded to walk off, and I continued listening to what type of flooring we need to get for our bathroom. The lady then came back with her husband, who both then proceeded to shout at me in the platform, surrounded by people. Here's the cast. There's me, lady, and man, and husband will be her partner.
It's a friggin' disgrace. How dare you be so rude to my wife when she's making a complaint? I don't give a crap who you're on the phone with.
I'm sorry, mate, but I'm on the phone with my wife, and I can't help you with anything.
How dare you be on the phone at work? I paid to get the train, and your service is frickin' awful.
I don't work for the trains here. I'm waiting for a train.
He's lying. The god there said that they were both gods here.
She pointed at a random guy in a high-vis jacket. He just shrugged at me and got back on his train. I have no idea who that man is. Look, here's my ID badge. I showed them my ID badge from where I work. I'm a teacher. The guy then proceeded to grab the badge from around my neck and then punched me in the face.
Ha! Idiot. I'm taking this to the train manager and you will be in for it.
The guy and his wife walked off. They stopped about 50 meters down the platform, looking at my ID and shouted back,
You aren't a guard, frickin' liar.
They threw my ID on the floor, then proceeded to leave the station, walking past the actual guards. I hate trains. I'm not gonna lie, that sounds really frustrating, and why did the guards just let you get punched in the okay. This story's called Didn't Even Have a Uniform On. So today I was shopping at Walmart for some art supplies I needed for a school project, and decided to stop over and look at some Christmas sweaters that were on sale. While looking, a woman in her 40s comes up to me and tells me she is looking for zip-up hoodies. I literally in no way, shape, or form look like I worked there. I had on a hat and my winter jacket, and my hands were full of things I wanted to buy. As the polite person that I am, I looked around and said, "Sorry, I don't know where they are." She begins to explain to me that she needs a zip-up hoodie and says, "You know, a hoodie with a zipper? It zips up," and continues to explain to me what a zip-up hoodie is. I once again say I don't know and try to keep shopping. She then got angry and said to me, "What do you mean you don't know? You work here." I didn't even say anything. I just walked away and I could still hear her yelling about how I should know. I bet she left a complaint about an employee in a winter hat and a jacket who refused to help her. I literally don't even work here, lady. What I think it is Karens are so entitled that whenever they need help, they think anyone they see around them is the one that's supposed to help them, despite them not working there. I don't know, that's just my guess. Or they're just stupid, I don't know. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.